Good evening, everyone. This is Gil at Camppatton Family Compound. Here tonight, we have Rebel Canners, Tammy with us, and Mark at Chef Tech. And we are here for the Monday Night Fireside Chat. And tonight's topic is human-powered food processing. And I had to throw up a non-human powered picture just so we go, ooh, yeah. So let me go over here, and there we go. And yeah, so hopefully, hey, Mark, hopefully we'll be able to answer some questions, talk about some of the items I have pictures of, talk about the good, bad, and the ugly of them, and get you thinking about having human-powered processing system. So,
what happened to your voice, buddy? Sounds like your voice is gone.
All right. So since Saturday, after my live stream on Saturday, I got sick. I was sick all day yesterday and all day today. I couldn't stand to walk around today more than a few feet, so I got my daughter to come over here and take the bills and take them down to the post office to pay the bills, because there's no way I'm driving. But yeah, I have I'm taking Sudafed. I can't remember the other one. My wife has it set aside in there for me. And and then of course regular cough drops. And what got me yesterday was that's the last I have of my secrets. And I have none of the purple chloroseptic, yeah. I have been taking the chloroseptic throat spray, and I'm not sure when they changed the formula up on that, but now it says do not swallow. Spray your throat, swish it, and then spit it out.
How do you swish your throat? Puke?
They spray it in, you kind of like.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You gargle.
Yep.
Gargle, move your tongue back and forth in the back there, get stuff to move around.
Salt water. Ooh, looks like Tammy and I are going to be doing all the talking tonight.
Mostly. So, oh man. Anyway, so yeah, that's where I've been out of it for since after my live stream on Saturday, all day Sunday and today. And even now, and when I walked into the kitchen to grab a couple things to bring him in here, and it was like I was acting like Jack Sparrow. Whoa. So what do we got here? Okay, so basically we're talking old school processing. And what's so funny is, as a teenager, it wasn't old school. It's what we did. 70s and stuff. You know, we used the
hand meat grinder. Yep.
We used the chopper. But this one here is about 25% smaller than the one my wife has in California. And she has both my mom's and my grandmother's there in California. Next trip, I'm going to be bringing one of them up here. Come on. There we go.
That's new school, old school.
Here's the thing. In the 60s, we had one that had 4 feet on it, not 3 feet.
Yep.
Stainless steel, and it had like 6 or so different blades on it. And yeah, we used that all the time as a kid.
Yeah, got one of those.
Yeah. I wasn't able to go across the street. I got one of those green Benz. It's about that wide and about that tall. That's full of a bunch of stuff. I just wasn't up to getting it and bringing it over here. Oh yeah, they got that in there. I got a bunch of things in there. We actually have the attachment to go on the KitchenAid, but I need to check to see if our KitchenAid will take the hand crank.
Probably not.
Like that one there.
Yeah. Different square, different hole. Everybody likes to make their own stuff different.
Yeah. Well, we got, my daughter has KitchenAid. I bought my wife KitchenAid, a lot of KitchenAid attachments and stuff. And my son bought his own KitchenAid. So I'm not sure if he got the one that has the hand crank on it, but I do have one out there in the little tote thing out there. This is one I think I'm going to talk to the wife to see about getting, because this has a bunch of different attachment for it. So down here you got two of the
two whips and a dough hook. Yep.
Yeah, but they're hooked together. So, and the crank for it comes up through the bottom, and there's the crank. You can see it barely there. So you just put that on there, and it just goes around and it whips stuff up and mixes cake mixes and stuff. And it has the dough hook. That's one of these. I got to talk to the wife. She sent me this one here. Hang on, let me get it.
Oh, is that the little plunger type? You push it down and it spins? Yeah.
It's like more like starting your lawnmower. It works really slick.
Yeah.
Whereas
this one here, you're there just cranking and cranking and cranking and cranking, trying to start up the old Model T.
Ice cream maker
is one I got to check to see what we have out there in the shop. If we have one of these out there, it's coming up here. If we don't, we're going to get one.
Make ice cream for the boys.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's the apple peeler. And I know we have one. It's the one we have is green. So, yeah.
The one thing I never liked about that, you literally lose a lot of apple meat because of the way that peeler thing peels. It peels the skin off and it peels a bunch of meat with it.
Well, see, that's where you take the skin and stuff and put it in another pot. And I can't think, Tammy, what do you do with it when you put take the skin and
jelly?
I boil it to have juice to make apple jelly, or I make apple syrup out of that.
All right.
Yeah, for me, for freeze drying, I lose meat. I'm like, crap, so I don't use it. I either peel them by hand or I leave the peels on them and freeze dry because they taste just as good.
Now this is the little one that clamps to the table. We have a big one out in one of the cargo containers, and it's got like an 8-inch grindstone on it, and it's electric or with a hand crank on the other end.
Cool. I got the attachment for my KitchenAid for that. We used it once. It was like a pain in the butt. I'm like, yeah, well, at least I have it. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
I bought that exact same grinder this summer, and I'm very pleased with it. I'm missing the safety guard, but I don't care because I'm not going to use it when the kids are around. But I have been wanting a grain mill for a long time, and I'm very excited.
The heck is that? A salad shooter?
No. This is getting your fire going so you can outside, or you can water bath outside, or you can just cook stuff down outside. And you have big blanching pot going so you can blanch stuff.
It's just a hand crank blower. That's a hand crank blower.
Bellows.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we got 2 of these at the house in California, maybe 3.
I got my mom's.
We have the one we bought. We have the one that was my mom's. We have the one that was the staff sergeant's grandmothers. So all these things, I mean, we used to, let's see how old. Okay.
Pancake
In
batter.
early 60s, we used this on Sunday morning to make pancake mix.
Yep.
One of these days, I think we're going to get one of these just for laughs and giggles. I'm not sure. I can't remember what this is called. I got one out in my green bin across the street, and the inside of it almost looks like a real fine grater. And anything you put in there, it just chops it all up, breaks it up, and so you're getting salsa coming out of that.
Probably a juicer. Looks like a juicer.
But everything comes out on that one thing, so it chops everything up. Oh, wait a minute. Anyone planning on using this, you got to remember, butter has milk in it.
I didn't tell my wife about that.
Somebody at the FDA has egg on their face.
Yeah.
We have one of these that has like 5 attachments to it. It has the different sizes for egg noodles. It has,
yeah, you can do. I got one of those.
Has the tortellinis, has the raviolis, has spaghetti, has vermicelli.
That press does not make that. Just to be clear, that press does not make tortellinis. It does not make raviolis. It makes flat pasta sheets to put on your ravioli tray or to hand make pasta.
It makes the pieces of dough, so you put it on your tray, you stuff it, and you pinch the edges.
Yeah, it's a pasta roller. You can do fettuccine, spaghetti, linguine, and flat. I got one. I bought it for my mother when I was like 17. I used it a bunch of times way back. She never used it. It's now back downstairs in my house. So,
yeah, I got one once. It was a total mess to clean, and that was the last time I used it.
Going back to that, I've heard that you've got to use the olive oil spray, not the regular other sprays, the olive oil spray on it so it doesn't gum up so bad. That's what I've heard.
If your semolina pasta mix is too wet, it will stick.
Yeah.
Period. So
right,
I use cornmeal for mine, and it doesn't stick at all.
Yeah. So we got the cherry pitter.
I have one of those.
We have a different looking one out in the shop across the street.
Mine looks almost like a meat grinder, except it's not.
This is going to be something that after the staff sergeant moves up here, we will get 1 or 2 of these.
Cider press.
Or cheese press. You can also use it to press cheese.
Yeah.
Wow, they make a hand crank for the KitchenAid? Never knew that.
Yeah, yes. That's what he was talking about. So you have to get the one that has the part on the back that sticks out.
Well, I have to look at mine and see if it has the cover there and the square drive inside. It might.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the smaller one. Trying to think. 4 cup. And you got your corn nibbler.
That just takes the kernels off the cobs.
That's for dry. That's for dry corn. You don't want to put a corn on a regular corn in there.
Yeah. And my mom had one of these back in the 70s for potatoes. Yeah, for potatoes and carrots and stuff like that. I bought the
big version of that. That's metal and it mounts to a wall over a sink, like the restaurants have. And I bought one of those. I used it once. It's not easy to use sitting flat on a countertop because everything skates around. It'll get mounted to a wall over a sink, or at least on a piece of wood that I can put over the sink.
My son was trying to find a used one from, come on, the hamburger chain that does the
Five Guys.
No, that does their own fries fresh.
Right. Five Guys does that too. They have them mounted over their sinks, like 4 of them.
But he was looking there. I don't think there's many Five Guys in California. They're looking to get the. He was looking to get the. Come on, brain. In-N-Out burger.
Oh, that's right. Same thing as Five Guys, basically. But yeah. Yep. I think I got 3 different blades for it and the different pushers with the different grid patterns so you can push it all the way through. So I got shoestring, which are 1/4 inch. I got 3/8, and I think I got 1/2 inch, which is, you want to make steak fries? Sure. Or some other kind of vegetable that you want really giant pieces out of it.
Oh, man.
You look terrible.
I feel terrible.
Yeah.
I have a joke for that later, but I can't say it on the
terrible.
air. I have a joke for that later, but I can't tell you on the air. Uh-oh, Tammy's coughing too. Would you guys all stop coughing?
This is my normal cough.
You know,
The
cough I've got going with me is my super cough. It's like the catch-22 cough. So I cough, it irritates the throat, so I cough more. My lungs go crap and try to collapse on me.
Yeah, you need some wild cherry bark, some honey, and some mullein. You sound awful.
But oh yeah. And there's probably a whole bunch more things I didn't even put in that PowerPoint.
So there's one thing you didn't even mention: the ultimate in manual food processing. A knife. Before all these great gadgets came around and people invented it because they wanted to do things quicker, we had a knife. I still have a knife. Lots of knives.
I have one set up here, 2 sets down in California of the Gerber kitchen sets.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love my Ulu. I have 4 different Ulus.
I don't even know what brands I have anymore. I just have lots of knives, and each one has its use. And
well, the Ulu is not a brand of knife; it's a style of cutting knife. It's actually for skinning, but it works really well with my carpal tunnel. I can chop with that Ulu better than I can with.
That's the one with the curved blade on it.
Yeah, that's got the curved blade, the big handle. Yeah, that's what the Eskimos use for like skinning seals and stuff.
Yeah.
I got one of those from one of the channels up in Alaska.
Yep.
My wife looked at it. What is this? I said, hey, it was a freebie. And I showed her how to do it. And she goes, okay.
Yeah, I can chop for a lot longer without getting my hand like froze up.
Okay, I got to teach you a different way to hold your knife.
No, it's just my hand.
Oh, okay.
I doubt after 23 years of surgery, you're going to teach me how to hold a knife differently.
Well, I learned how to hold a knife from one chef in college, and I loved it because I have great balance and control with it. And every other class I took holding the knife like that, they all yelled at me. They're like, why are you holding it like that? I was like, because Chef French said to hold it like this, and I like it. They're like, I hate that chef because everybody that took the class held their knife like that, and I still hold it like that to this day. And yeah, I don't just hold the handle. I mean, I got my thumb and the side of my index fingers on the blade, so I can go different angles in that, and it just gives me better control. And
yeah,
if we start doing homemade sausage, we're going to be getting one of these 20-pound meat mixer.
I got the carnivore that my wife and I bought at Cabela's. I used that the other day.
I use these for mixing meat.
Yeah.
Or the original tools.
Yeah. Now we bought the carnivore, and that thing's great because I'll grind up everything.
Is that a popcorn popper?
Which one? Right in the middle here?
Back up one level or so on the far left with the turny handle.
No, that's a mixer.
That's a mixer stuffer thinger.
Yeah, so you can mix your seasonings into your meat and stuff. There's a lot of different ones here. This is kind of similar to the one we have where you got 4 different things you put the crank in to turn it at different speeds. Yeah. I typed in manual food processing equipment, and half the stuff here is electric.
Well, yeah, because it's Google. And it's all advertisement stuff.
And they don't want you to become self-sufficient.
Yep. All the ads that are paid for to promote stuff go to the top. Oh.
Hey, before we owned a vacuum sealer, Seal-O-Meal, we had the ultimate. It was called a Ziploc bag and a straw.
Now that kitchen mixer is not a that one right there is not a KitchenAid. It's the predecessor to KitchenAid, and if I could find one of those, Hobart. If I could find a Hobart, yeah.
That's the Hobart 20 quart is on my list.
Have you ever made milkshakes in one? In
a mixer?
Yes.
Never needed to. I have a Hamilton Beach shake mixer machine.
Yeah, but I can make milkshakes for 120 people in that Hobart.
Well, that's great. I don't know 150 people.
Well, you should come hang out at the same summer camp I do.
Let's see. Just looking here for more hand-powered stuff here.
I went looking at cars the other day, and the guy said, this car right here can hold 7 people with no problems. And I said, that's great because I don't know 7 people with no problems. Okay, that was a joke. Anyway. There's my chamber sealer.
Unfortunately, some of these China commercial kitchen equipment.
Yep.
Pass.
There's the French fryer I have. It's on legs and it has a press and then it's got 3.
Yeah, the one, go back up a little bit.
Yep, the one in the center there.
Right, just coming into view on top in the middle. Yeah, it's the same
Looks
one
like
I got.
A cat.
Yep. It's got holes in it so you can bolt it to the wall or bolt it to a cutting board or something so it doesn't skate everywhere. That's exactly the one I got. And mine's made in China too.
And I forgot to say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, so Walt, Phelan, Cold War Prepper, Diana 2, Kaylin Strain.
Hi, Kaylin.
Northern Girl Hobbies.
Hi.
Angels Homestead. Susan Galley came in on your side, and Mark came in on your side as well.
No, I when I type on StreamYard, it goes to both sides.
Yeah. Little Lone Prepper's in the house. Sue Me is here.
Where is
he? CR is here.
See, we haven't made you hungry yet, CR. We haven't talked about food yet.
Well, we're kind of talking about food.
Yeah. Mother Earth Garden Club.
Lee is here. He makes his milkshakes at Whataburger.
Tuka by V is here. Let's go down here.
I think you're off the line for tomorrow, Gil.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a. It may be a real quickie tomorrow. What is tomorrow's? Tactical Tuesday is the future of grid-connected solar. Yeah, they're screwing us over on that one, especially in the blue states like California and New York.
Oh, Pennsylvania's doing it. All the farms I drive by here, I should take pictures of them. They're selling off their farmlands and they're selling it to the solar companies. They're putting up solar fields everywhere. It's sad.
Here too, there's what 4 new solar fields went up around
waiting for the first big hailstorm to come in.
But they've planted trees all the way around the perimeter to mask these solar fields. The funny thing is they're not that big. The trees will literally shade out the solar panels in 10 years.
Oh, they'll cut them down, plant new ones.
They'll prune them.
I don't know how
panels don't last that long.
They literally have a row of very large pines, and in front of the row of very large pines, they have large maples and oaks.
Yeah, depends on which way they're situated, east, west, north,
No, it's
south.
all the way around the perimeter to like mask the ugliness of the solar farm.
Yeah, well,
you know.
All right. What else here? Just trying to think of what. This isn't one here, but I do have a hamburger patty form. So you weigh out your hamburger patty on the scale, so it's a 1/4 pound. You drop it in the mold. Take the smasher, smash it flat, and then lift the outside mold up, and then you either freeze them or cook them.
Tupperware made a set where you could snap them all together, and then a lid for the top one. I had that at one time. Yeah. There's another thing on there we didn't talk about, a meat saw. If you're going to process your own meat, you're going to need a meat saw.
Yeah. I mean, that was the, hang on. That's this thing here. It just, grinds it down to fine stuff. So you can make your salsa, your meat sauce, whatever on it with it.
Yeah. The meat saw though is for cutting the bones so that you can cut the.
Oh, meat saw.
Yeah. There was a one on that list right below.
Yeah, it's a giant stainless hacksaw.
Yeah. It's really what it is.
There we go. Hey, oops, wait a minute.
Yep, that's it.
Yep, right there. Yep. You should have one of those if you're going to process anything bigger than a chicken.
I have stainless blades for my power reciprocating saw, my Sawzall. Yeah, I think we're going to cut this short, Gil. You're looking peaked.
Yeah. Let's see. What other things here? You can make your own donuts by hand and your own pretzels by hand. Yeah, if we ever do pretzels by hand, Eli is going to go ape poopy over them.
Pretzels aren't hard. They're pretty easy.
Yeah. Just teach them to roll them out by hand and do the little whippy and make the little pretzel shape and drop it on a tray.
Yeah, just give them Play-Doh and teach them how to make Play-Doh snakes.
Yep.
And then all you got to do is show them how to fold the Play-Doh snakes into a bowl. And then then they're ready to make pretzels. That's all it takes. That's skill right there. If you can make a Play-Doh snake and fold it like a bow, you can start making pretzel dough and rolling it out.
Okay, one thing we haven't talked about was egg processing. which is basically a big gallon jar with, my brain's not coming up with it.
Pickling lime.
Yeah.
Hey, I heard, but I heard it. First time I've heard it is same thing as like pickling lime. You can use mineral oil as long as it's good mineral oil.
Mineral
On the
oil doesn't
eggs.
last as long as the pickling lime.
Yeah, no. I figured that. You
But
can't
it does
soak them in mineral oil. Does the same thing. It clogs the pores on the eggs.
You can wipe them with mineral oil and it'll clog the pores and it'll keep them for a lot longer. There's another thing, not sawdust. They pack them in something like that, and it keeps them.
Sand.
No,
I think it's sand.
It's something that clogs the pores, though. There's a powder. I have to think about it. I've only read about it. I've not done it. It's on the list of things to try.
All right. So there is a lot of stuff here to check out. Figure out what you're most likely going to need first. And start what you're going to use the most first. And then start adding other things as you go along.
We wants to know about meat processing knives. Literally, they're just different lengths and shapes, boning knives, super sharp, and depends on what you're processing. I mean, if you're skinning a deer, you need one type of knife. Once you get the meat, the skin off, and you're trying to take it apart, it's a different kind of knife. And you got like multiple knives. I could do it all with one. It just takes a little longer. Certain knives just speed up your process.
Yeah.
I could do it all with my ulu, but I'd also prefer to have a boning knife.
Yeah.
So that I can get in the joints and get things for, I'm thinking specifically for deer. So I would need my ulu for skinning and chopping, and then a boning knife, which is a long, narrow, almost looks like a fish fillet knife.
Yeah.
Those
you got
two
fish fillet knives too. Different heels, different flexibilities. Depends on what you're doing, and it's all in what you're doing. And you could buy a million knives and still not have the right one.
Yeah.
I have probably 4 or 5 dozen knives, and I usually have the 3 that I use, which is my ulu, boning knife, and then I have a paring knife that I like.
I don't want to talk about my knife collection.
Well, yeah, and I see
decades I have I like this one. Ooh, I got steel knives, which you don't keep them treated, they get rusty, and then you're scrubbing it down again and retreating it, and they hold an edge real well until they don't.
So it's there we go. Whoa, $400 now. I got one of these here. I've got 2 of them in California with a different knife setup in there, and yeah.
Bentonite clay, is that what you're thinking of, Tammy, for the eggs?
I can't remember. Those are both good suggestions, though, but I can't remember. I know it's not DE. It could be a bentonite clay, but I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, that big 2-handled knife she's mentioning there, we use that for giant cheese wheels, because you ain't doing that with one hand. You need that double handle. It's like a scimitar with 2 handles on it.
Yeah.
They also use those for cleaning hides.
Yep.
So we got several of these here in both houses, and then I have let's see if I can find it here. I got one shaped like this, but the handle on it is a non-slip foam handle.
Mhm.
That's what I used to take it to when I go deer hunting.
Yeah, it's a skinning knife and a field dressing knife.
Now, that one, you have one on that page that has a gut hook on the far side, the other over there
Yep.
at the top. Right now, it is almost impossible. I spent 2 years looking for a good quality knife with a gut hook for deer hunting. It is so hard to find right now. I don't know why, but those are really important when you're hunting to have that. I don't like my guts getting punctured, so having a gut hook is really important. I'm trying to find one for my son to have give him for Christmas, and it was a battle. They wanted between $1,000,
Ooh,
$300 to $1,000, and I don't want one with a plastic handle. So it was like that wasn't even an option. Anything with a plastic handle was not an option.
yeah.
And I did finally find a really nice carved wooden one, but that had a gut hook.
I'm trying to remember who makes them. I think Darren Semester makes some
Hmm.
down there in Australia.
Yeah,
And
he
there's
makes
somebody back in Kentucky makes knives. And there's a couple other ones that I've seen on Facebook.
And then I went to Ohio with my son, and we went to a farm market, and they had a whole stall full of them in 4 different sizes after I bought the one I bought. And they
Yeah.
were under $100. So you just have
That's always
to,
the way it is.
yeah.
You look high and low, you finally find it, and then you don't have to look high and low, and everybody's throwing it in your face.
Yeah.
You should have just talked about it a whole lot more. Let Facebook do the shopping for you.
Yeah. I wanted something I was going to touch it before I purchased it.
Yeah, no, you
Because
know what I mean. They listen to everything.
You've got me on a I'm very picky about my knives. Very picky.
Yeah. My wife's, my mom's knives, which I have here, are wrapped in newspaper, and they've been cleaned and oiled and wrapped in newspaper. So they very rarely do I use one of them, because my mom was very finicky about her knives. And when my wife comes up here, then all the knives from there in California and up here are going to be put together into a cabinet of knives.
Well, my dad taught me to throw knives when I was just little. And so like I have this thing, it has to be balanced. I'm always like, could I throw this if I needed to? So it has to be like it has to have the right balance, and it has to have the right feel, and it's just a funny thing. It's a me thing.
What was interesting at scout camp, hang on, Wolfboro Scout Camp in California, they had some really good throwing knives. And the guys there would sharpen them up every evening, because some of the scouts would totally, bounce them off the logs and put them in the dirt. And so they had throwing knives for it. It was part of the marksman rocker. For basically you had to do less than a quarter. Size of a quarter. Hit all your 22s in there. Had to hit so many from the arrows. Had to hit so many shotgun skeet. Had to do the knife throwing. I can't remember what the other thing was, but yeah.
Axe.
Yeah, axe throwing or machete throwing.
Axe, yeah.
Yep.
My youngest, actually, both my boys got the rocker. My brain's fried. The marksman rocker for Wolfboro. So, all right.
You can cut it short, dude. It's all good. We
Yeah,
understand.
I am going out. All right, so tomorrow. All right, tomorrow on Rayman Prepping for Survival Tuesday, not Survival Tuesday, Tactical Tuesday. It's the future of off-grid connected solar. Thursday night is the midnight ride. Back here for Friday night on the homestead. What vegetables can you plant without sunlight?
In the basement?
Yes. Or in the house. And then Survival Saturday is supply chain and customs and tariffs. And then next Monday here is canning leftovers. So that's what we have coming up here for the next week. And oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to bed, folks.
All right.
All right, everyone. Remember, anything that you can run by human power is better, especially you're out on a homestead and you're worried about power outages. All right? Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow night on Tactical Tuesday on Rayman Prepping.